Welcome to Community Health Heroes Show, where we spotlight local organizations that provide much needed health and wellness resources and information so that everyone in our community can strive to live healthier, happier, and longer lives. I'm Dr. Penny Walker, Senior Medical Director for United Healthcare Southeast Region. Thank you for joining us today. Today on Community Health Heroes, in recognition of February's designation as Heart Month, we will be talking all things heart except for love. That's another show. From knowing the signs of a heart attack to fundraisers like Go Red for Women that help bring much needed awareness and dollars to the cause of women's heart health, to knowing what you can do and where you can go in the city of New Orleans to walk your way to better heart health. We have a wealth of information in store for you we're sure you're going to love. Today's guests include Dr. Karen DeSalvo, City of New Orleans Health Commissioner, who will talk about what the city is doing to help people walk their way to healthier heart. Dr. Dean Yount of Crescent City Cardiovascular Associates at Touro Hospital, who will talk about the signs of a heart attack, its treatment and prevention. And Janie Glade, an American Heart Association Circle of Red member, who will talk about the upcoming Go Red for Women luncheon on February 22nd and what's being done to improve women's heart health. So don't go away, we'll be right back with more Community Health Heroes.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up with that, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers. This first pitch is fouled to the back.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Here we go. We're gonna make some juice.
It's gonna be good.
She's excited. A little bit of kale.
Please don't put this on line.
I'm putting it all over the line.
It's wet. It needs something. No, it'll go.
Don't break my juicer. Looks good.
You ready to try it?
Come on, baby.
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
It's okay.
Okay, all right.
They might surprise you.
She took another sip. You saw it?
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
Sometimes life throws you something unexpected, but the Breeze Dream Foundation and United Way are giving both individuals and businesses a chance to help folks in our region. You can be the one to help those in need, weather their personal storms, both large and small. You can be the one to help others rebuild their lives and get back in the game. Because when you give, amazing things happen. So step up and be the next one.
Find out how you can help at thenextonesela.org.
Nice. No.
Oops.
Yeah, sure.
Let's go.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
The road to living a heart-healthy life often begins with one small step, sometimes right outside your door, or around the corner, on a treadmill, or in a local park. Last year, as part of a 3-year, $1.95 million commitment to the American Heart Association, United Healthcare helped establish the first American Heart Association designated walking path in downtown New Orleans. The path, located in Duncan Plaza across from New Orleans City Hall, has proven to be an excellent way for downtown office workers, CBD residents, and all citizens to walk their way to better health. Joining us today to tell us what you can do to reduce and even prevent heart disease is Dr. Karen DeSalvo, Health Commissioner for the City of New Orleans. Thank you for joining us today, Dr. DeSalvo.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm delighted to be here.
Can you tell me a little bit about the walking path that we have now in New Orleans?
Sure. You know, for the city government, for the mayor and everybody in City Hall, we wanted to lead by example and show that everybody can do their part to reduce heart disease for our community. And so right across the street from City Hall is Duncan Plaza. It has a really great opportunity for people to get outside at their lunch hour and walk around downtown and have a chance to walk with each other and be a little more active in the middle of the day. And so with support from the American Heart Association and United Health, we were able to do some really nice revamping, fixing up of that park so that it's clean, and replace bricks that had been messed up for a long time and put some amenities around to make it a pretty place for people to get out. And they have been using it. It's really lovely.
That's awesome that they've been using it. Is it mostly like at lunchtime, or do you see people using it in the morning or on the weekends?
Well, a couple of things have happened. One is there's some walking groups in City Hall, particularly some of the women and guys who are doing Weight Watchers and are thinking overall about their fitness, have been going out on their lunch hour. We've found that people are doing it as a break during the middle of the day, but then sometimes also having walking meetings. If you got to talk with somebody and the weather's good, go outside and take a walk around the park. And I was noticing even this morning, as I see it right out from my window, that there are so many more people just walking through the park to enjoy it because it looks so much prettier.
Oh, that is great
Yeah,
news.
it's really great.
So how can you associate walking with heart health for us?
And people always ask what's the most important thing you can do for your health overall, and it turns out that it's really as simple as walking about 30 minutes a day if you're able to. That is great for mental health, for physical health. It's also good for social interaction, and it's just so simple because for the most part we can just go out and do it. So I always encourage people, if they're able, to get out and walk, and it doesn't have to be competitive or even sporty, but just it's a great chance to be with friends and family and or to relax by yourself. So that's a really great first step. And then from there, people can step it up according to how well they feel in terms of their physical fitness.
That's great. So can you tell me a little bit, besides walking, what can you do for your heart health to improve your heart health and help prevent heart disease?
Well, I always say it's a really simple equation. It's everything in moderation, by and large. So we know that the first thing that people can control is what they take in terms of food, and then how they expend those calories in terms of being active. Taking stairs, parking a little further so you walk a little more, taking an active walk after a meal or in the morning, exercising as you're able to. It's also important to make sure you're getting screened for heart disease risk factors like cholesterol, diabetes, high blood pressure, understanding what your family history is. So making sure that you're being as proactive as possible about your own health, know your own risk, understand your family risk, and then when you're having an issue or any of those risk factors, take it head on and address it, because there's really good treatment, including sometimes just some simple lifestyle change to treat high blood pressure or diabetes.
Kind of take control of your own life.
That's exactly right. It's a heart disease is one of those issues that is preventable if people really start young and really young. I mean, we know from great studies that have been done in Louisiana, like the Bogalusa Heart Study, that you need to start with those behaviors and with the diet when kids are little, and make sure that they're moderating how much cholesterol and fat they take in, that they avoid smoking throughout their entire life, including secondhand smoke exposure, and that they're decreasing salt intake and being physically active, because the impact of all those risk factors on the heart starts when kids are pretty young, plus the behaviors that you begin in childhood tend to last a lifetime.
All right, set a good pattern at an early age.
That's right.
Well, how can you associate what the kids are doing in preventing heart disease? I mean, should they be walking 30 minutes, 60 minutes? Is it really that important?
Well, so we have, children have been a great voice and advocate for fitness in this community, and I'm sure many people know that. We have, if you want to know what to do, go to the source, right? And they're a great source. They have been, through the Children's Museum, for example, teaching us about how they see play and fitness, that it is to them an opportunity not just sometimes for structured soccer game, but really free play is just as valuable to them. They've also shared with us that being able to be active in school during the school day and after school is really important, and all this is included in our Fitnola partnership plan, which is this blueprint that is a collective action for the City of New Orleans to take to reduce childhood obesity and subsequent risk for heart disease. So for kids and adults, children, we want them to exercise for 60 minutes a day if they're able to. That is sounds like a long time, but if you can build that back into schools, then they can easily begin to build up that time. Some programs locally have been able to add better after-school options and weekend options for kids. So there's plenty of opportunity to be active if people are just looking in the right places.
Now, what about bringing fruits and vegetables into the city? A couple years ago, I know that some farmer markets had come into the city. Are we still working on that?
Well, we are. Having access to nutritious food is a great and important way to reduce risk for heart disease. That means that as a city, we are pushing forward on our Fresh Food Retailer Initiative, which is a way that we use public and private funds to bring grocery stores to neighborhoods that have been food deserts so that there is a expected access to fruits and vegetables. Circle Foods is one of the ones that we just announced and funded through that program. We expect to have another one soon. There's also a really nice network of backyard gardens and community gardens, some on public spaces, so lot next door kind of thing. And then I'm glad you mentioned it because we do have a project, part of FitNOLA, that is called FitNOLA Parks and Playgrounds, and it is bringing to 3 high-risk neighborhoods, high risk for chronic disease, not only better programming in their local parks and playgrounds, but also farmers markets and access to healthy foods through little little coins that the market umbrella gives to get people a chance to try stuff they might not normally when they get out to the farmers market. So those are a couple of examples of ways that we're trying to also get people really thinking about eating healthier as well.
Yeah, I was really aware there's not a lot of fruits and vegetables in even some of the small community grocery stores.
There's not, and it's definitely a national problem, and that what is clear is when you give people access to better choices, better food, et cetera, they'll make good choices. They typically are pretty educated. It's just that very often in neighborhoods, especially low-income neighborhoods, the corner store just doesn't have, even if they have fresh fruits and vegetables, they're not as fresh, and so they're not quite as appetizing. The chance for kids to learn about growing food and vegetables early on in programs like the Edible Schoolyard. So you're seeing this explosion of schools that have gardens that are not just pretty, but are part of the curriculum. So children are out in those gardens learning their math and reading and science. And so it is actually an outdoor classroom for them.
Oh, well, I really appreciate this valuable information. I'm sure viewers do too. You provide a wealth of information about what the city is doing and what you're personally doing to make New Orleans healthier.
Well, thank you very much for the chance to share the story because really it's been a great partnership and we look forward to having one of the most healthy cities in the country. I know we can do it.
Thank you very much for joining us on the show, Dr. DeSalva.
Thank you.
And stay tuned for more Community Health Heroes.
Are you getting this, honey?
Oh, prime time. We are rolling.
All right, Mama's gonna bring it home. Mama's gonna bring it home. Okay.
Come on, watch this guy.
Oh, backwards.
Oh, don't. Oh.
It went into Bob and Carol's yard. Oh, no? Okay, here it comes.
Oh, Mom!
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
All right, let's see what you can do. Let's go.
They might surprise you. Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
Join the Children's Museum of St. Tammany in our fundraiser Celebration, Sunday, February 24th at the Castine Center, with more than 40 restaurants featured in an outstanding culinary showcase, and Zoe's Bakery wowing guests with an artistic dessert spectacular. Special guests include Masters of Ceremony Margaret Orr and Jim Henderson. Soul Revival will also hit the stage. To purchase tickets, visit cmstkids.org. Children's Museum of St. Tammany. Imagine the reality.
Today is Saturday. Today is Saturday. Salad on Saturday, fruit on Friday, throw a ball Thursday. Water Wednesday, touch your toes Tuesday. Let's move Monday, swap snacks Sunday. All the healthy children eat well and move a lot. And move a lot. And move a lot. Eat well and move a lot.
60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. So keep them active and eating well every day.
Skip a rope Saturday, freeze tag Friday, tap dance Thursday.
Whole grains Wednesday, try a veggie Tuesday. Let's move Monday, split the sweet Sunday.
Eat well and move a lot.
Today is Saturday. Yeah. Today is Saturday.
All the healthy children, all the healthy children.
Get ideas. Get involved. Get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
Did you know that heart disease is the #1 killer in Louisiana and that more women than men will die of heart disease? Joining us today to talk about the treatment and prevention of heart disease is Dr. Dean Yount of Crescent City Cardiovascular Associates at Touro Hospital. Thank you for joining us today. Can you tell me a little bit about heart disease?
Heart disease is one of the leading killers of women and men in the United States. It's a very preventable disease in many ways, so we need to focus on education of the community to help prevent it.
So what are some of the risk factors that lead to heart disease?
The risk factors, many of them are preventable. We can't do anything about genetics, we can't change your parents, but smoking is one of the leading preventable causes. Diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity, a sedentary lifestyle. Those are the things we focus on to try to prevent heart disease.
And why do you seem to think people don't come into the hospital early enough or don't go to their doctor early enough when they do have heart disease?
They don't recognize that the symptoms are heart disease, or they don't accept that that's the problem. People often stay at home wondering if they have a heart attack. Well, the real way to find out if you're having a heart attack is to seek medical care so that we can see you and decide if you're indeed having a heart attack. Staying at home isn't going to help.
And what can people do for treatment, or what are some of the more common treatments today?
Well, most important thing if you're having a heart attack is to seek medical attention right away by calling 911. Once you're at a hospital where it's decided you're having a heart attack, the most important thing is to open up the blocked artery that's causing the heart attack. That can be done with medications, or in most settings we can go ahead and open that up with a balloon and a stent. Time is of the essence when you're having a heart attack, is why we focus on early recognition and early arrival at the emergency department.
Can you tell me a little bit about the symptoms people should be aware of when they're going to be having a heart attack, or even some symptoms of heart disease?
Well, of course, a heart attack is the culmination of heart disease. People often have symptoms before they're having a heart attack that aren't recognized. Those symptoms are chest pain is a rather classic one, feeling like an elephant is standing on your chest, having trouble breathing, nausea that goes along with that. Often those symptoms aren't all together at the same time. Difficulty with breaking out in cold sweats, or back pain, jaw pain. Those are some of the other symptoms that are less common, but the classic symptom is chest pain.
And we were talking before the show about women and heart disease. What kind of prevents women from recognizing that they're having a heart attack or even seeking treatment?
Well, often women delay their seeking medical attention because they're denial to some degree. Feeling heart disease is a disease of men, which of course it isn't. It's the leading killer of women in the United States, which is why things like February and Go Red Month is so important to help understand the importance of heart disease in women. And they often feel they don't want to worry their family members by seeking medical attention. They feel they're the caregivers and have to put off their own health, but when you're having a heart attack, time is of the essence, and they need to understand seeking attention early is what's the most important thing.
So you mentioned earlier that a lot of the conditions are preventable or controllable, like high blood pressure, obesity, a lifestyle where you're not getting much exercise. What can a person do to help control those causes?
Well, that's part of taking charge of your own health, is to control the risk factors for development of heart disease. Whether you have heart disease already diagnosed or if you haven't been diagnosed with heart disease, it's important to try to prevent it. Obviously, controlling your blood pressure. If you've been diagnosed with high blood pressure, regularly following with your doctor and making sure it's controlled. Control of your diabetes if you have diabetes. And all of that comes back to obesity, being overweight, and exercise. To try to exercise helps control obesity, helps control blood pressure, helps control diabetes. Exercise is important for prevention of heart disease. If you don't have it, or if you've developed it, exercise becomes very important.
So it sounds like somebody can take control by keeping their diabetes under control, by taking their blood pressure medication if they have high blood pressure, or getting diagnosed if they have high blood pressure, and then exercising 30 minutes a day.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we didn't mention smoking. Smoking is the #1 preventable cause of disease, and if you smoke, you shouldn't be smoking. It seems odd to have to say that this day and age, but it never hurts to reminder.
And then eating healthy is another great way to help prevent heart disease.
Absolutely. A diet high in fruits and vegetables can help prevent heart disease. Low in salt to help prevent high blood pressure or control high blood pressure. Avoiding cholesterol, saturated fats. Those are the lifestyle changes everyone should make, but especially if you already have heart disease.
Well, thank you. You provided valuable information on heart disease, and I appreciate you being on our show today.
Thank you for having me.
And we will be right back with more Community Health Heroes.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all working with United Way for a million little reasons. The kids of our communities, to ensure their academic success all the way to graduation day. You see, it takes about 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a kid becoming one or the other could be a professional athlete, or it could be you. Studies showed the earlier we get to kids, the better their chances. So become a United Way volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor, and make a difference in the life of a child, for the life of that child. Give.
Advocate.
Volunteer. Live United. Join your favorite NFL players. Take the pledge. Go to unitedway.org.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
It doesn't take a superhero to run a successful business.
But it helps to have a keen business sense, leadership skills, and great connections.
I've gotten all these things by joining the New Orleans Chamber of Commerce.
I've attended eye-opening business seminars and valuable networking events
where I meet the right people, develop opportunities, and hone my leadership skills.
Maybe joining the Chamber hasn't made me a superhero. It sure has powered up my business.
New Orleans Chamber of Commerce. Join today and get the rest of the year free. Power up your business.
Did you know that more women than men will die this year of heart disease, and that 1 in 3 women will die this year of heart disease compared to 1 in 30 from breast cancer? Here to tell us more about the importance of fundraisers such as the upcoming Go Red for Women luncheon on February 22nd and how it helps bring awareness and funds to the cause of reducing heart disease in women is Janie Glade, American Heart Association Circle of Red member. Thank you for joining us today, Janie.
Thank you for having us, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk about Go Red. Heart disease is the #1 killer of women in the United States, and most women are not aware of that. 420,000 women a year die as a result of heart disease. That is more than all cancer combined, and yet women aren't aware of how at risk they truly are, so we appreciate this avenue.
So what's the purpose of the Go Red for Women luncheon?
The Go Red for Women luncheon is twofold. First, to educate women on the risk factors of heart disease, and secondly, to raise money and, of course, awareness. All money that is raised in Louisiana at the Go Red luncheon or at any of the American Heart Association events stays here in Louisiana, and we're doing some phenomenal research here.
So Janie, can you tell me about some of the education that Go Red for Women supports?
Well, the Circle of Red, of which I'm a member, is a group of women whose mission is to go out into the community and educate other women on the risk factors that are available. A lot of women don't know that smoking, #1 risk factor for heart disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, inactivity, overweight. These are all risk factors for heart disease, and so the American Heart Association puts a lot of money and a lot of effort into educating the community, and the Circle of Red primarily educates women on risk factors that we can know about and control. We have a lot of control over whether or not we get heart disease, and that's probably the most important thing to know, is that it's preventable.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of symptoms do women have compared to men when it comes to heart disease?
Some of the same symptoms. I know you've heard about radiating chest pain. You've heard if you feel pain down either side of your arm. Some of the things that are not predominant in men that women may pick up: nausea, profuse sweating, chest pain in the back. Those are things that may be more common in women than in men. Indigestion that lasts more than 20 minutes is a common symptom. Those are things that you should look for if you feel uncomfortable. The surest thing to do is to call 911 and get yourself to an emergency room.
Janie, now the American Heart Association has some other events going on this month. Can you tell me a little bit about some of those other events?
Well, we have the Go Red Luncheon on February 22nd, but we also on February 22nd have National Wear Red to Work Day. So we're asking all women on February 22nd to wear red in support of women's heart health. If you just wear a pair of red earrings or wear a pair of red shoes, wear red to show that you are in favor of advocating for women's health, for women's heart health.
And if our consumers would like to know a little bit more about the American Heart Association or the Go Red for Women Luncheon, how do you find that information?
Heart.org. Everything you need to know, heart.org. Very easy.
Very simple.
Very simple.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I would like to let everybody know that Go Red is just a great luncheon to participate in, and you can come in the morning for the health screenings from 10 to 11:30. We'll be doing free health screenings. You don't need a ticket to come to that. You can come and have your cholesterol and blood pressure taken. If you want to come to the luncheon where there's going to be a lovely fashion show presented by Chatterbox, you can go to heart.org and find out about tickets for that. And then please remember on February 22nd, wear red. Wear red.
Well, thank you, Jenny, for this valuable information. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having us
show.
on today. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Hopefully, all the mothers, grandmothers, wives, sisters, aunts, nieces, and friends in our community will be encouraged to take charge of their heart health so they can begin to understand the importance of protecting their heart health. Stay tuned for more Community Health Heroes.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at Food Safe.
Here we go. We're gonna make some juice.
It's gonna be good.
She's excited. A little bit of kale.
Please don't put this on line.
I'm putting it all over the line.
It's wet. It needs something. No, it'll go.
Don't break my juicer. Looks good.
You ready to try it?
Come on, baby.
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
It's okay.
Okay, all right.
They might surprise you.
Hey, she took another sip. You saw it?
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Thank you once again for joining us. We hope that the information we have provided today will help you and your family live healthier and happier lives. I'm Dr. Penny Walker, and I'll see you next time on Community Health Heroes.